So I've just got back from yoga, which I didn't even manage to do because I was the only person who turned up, and the girl didn't want to run the class just with me in it. So I kind of had that initial like, shit, and then I was like, no, it's okay, it doesn't matter, I can like go tomorrow or something, I don't need to do it, it's just a nice thing to do. And I've come home for my breakfast and I have got chocolatey peanut butter oats. And also in this vlog I'm going to talk about perfectionism because a couple of people have been asking me about it, and it's something I've had a big problem with. And when I was making my oats, I like splashed all the chocolate crap over me, and I was like, oh, should I go and get changed? And I was like, no, you can stay in a not perfect top, it's topical. So I've lined up a Kayla Rose Kotecki vlog. Look at it all stirred in. Beyonce! Now she's got chocolate porridge in her hair. Surprise, surprise, the last mouthful, we have peanut butter left. It's gonna glue my mouth together now. Okay, so perfectionism. This has been a big problem for me, especially when I was younger. I was fixated on having to be perfect all the time. I had to be the best version of myself in every single scenario. And in my head, I thought, if I'm perfect and I'm the best me, then people will like me more and then I'll be happy. And this is some serious faulty wiring in our heads. Like, my favourite people in the world are by no means perfect. To be honest, quite often far from it. Because it's not something I really value. I value like good people, funny people, kind-hearted people, just all of the good values that make you a good person. And I kind of started applying it to me as well and thinking like, well, what person do I want to be in this world? And I don't want to be obsessed with my body, I just want to be out there being a good person. And almost in like a similar way to weight, to be honest, I think if we're forcing ourselves to be anything other than what we naturally are, we're going to suffer from it. So like if your body wants to be this way and you're forcing it to be this way, you suffer because your body fights back. And when I was in school, grades was my really big thing. So I'm like mid-range intelligent, I'd say. I'm not like super brainy, but I'm not proper dumb. To be honest, with most things in my life, I always lie somewhere in the middle. But I wasn't happy with that. I was like, no, you have to be the smartest. You have to get 100% in all your exams. So I was basically fighting against where I naturally lay. And to be honest, I get there and it does make me happy. Like I see 100% and I'm like, yeah, awesome, I got 100%. But then like that kind of goes. And then I don't have friends to go and celebrate with because I've spent my whole time on my own. And also, I don't achieve 100% and think, okay, that's done, I can sit back now, I'm perfect and I'm happy. No. You finished your GCSEs, now you've got your friggin' A-levels around the corner. So then you've got to get 100% in your A-levels. So it like never stops. Same with losing weight, the goalposts constantly shift. Achieving perfection is never enough to like make us core happy and long-lasting happiness. It's enough for a buzz and a quick feel good, but then you've always got to do more. Like with a lot of things, I'm just like, is this really working for me? Is this making me happy? It's a shame it takes me years to work it out, but better late than never. When I was a teenager, my dad's motto for me was like, good enough is good enough. You do not need to kill yourself getting to this insane mental perfection state because you've hit good enough. Like, that's great, hit good enough and then go out and have some fun. And also I think even if you do achieve perfection, whatever that is, it's a lot of pressure to live up to. You then have to always achieve that perfection because you think if you don't, you won't be liked. That is a shit ton of pressure for you. And it's scary to stop because you think you're risking that people won't like you if you don't do it. But I don't know if you just have to try it and see that people do still like you. And to be honest, if there's people that don't like you because of it, you don't need them in your life. And so whatever it is, whether it's like you think you need to be skinny or your house needs to be perfectly tidy or you need to get 100% in your exams or be the best mum or whatever your perfection is, as long as that's how you're defining yourself, you're going to have to constantly live up to that, and it is freaking exhausting. And you never hit the point where you can just go, oh, that's it, I've done it, I'm perfect now. You are constantly moving the goalposts, constantly having to push yourself to be perfect, constantly going against what you perhaps naturally are. My psychologist has also got me to challenge this quite a lot. She gets me to do one imperfect thing every day. So I have to like make a mistake in my work and not correct it, or leave the apartment slightly untidy, or spill food down myself and not get changed. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe people are watching me to make sure I don't spill stuff down me. But like, if that's the case, I probably don't need those people as viewers, because I am going to spill shit down me, and it's a bit too much pressure for me to have to cook my food without spilling it down me. My examples are terrible. And someone who asked about this topic asked about perfection in terms of your body and like feeling like you need to look perfect for others and what they think about you. Right. No one expects perfection, and if they do, they should not be in your life. Again, it goes back to, what do you value in others? Like, are you friends with your friends because they're skinny? Or are you friends with them because they're good people and you have fun with them and they make you feel awesome and they're freaking awesome? Like, we do not need to be perfect, and there are so many awesome people out there in the world that are just accepting and love you for you, and just go and find those people. They're the ones to hang out with. So please, like, don't waste this time like slogging your guts out trying to be this like perfect, amazing version of yourself when you're actually awesome just like you are. And some bits will be a bit weird or a bit scatty and a bit not the smartest or not the funniest or not the prettiest or not the skinniest, but it doesn't matter. People will still love you because you're you, and that's what people love. And it's hard to believe when you're seeking perfection, you think people only like you because you're perfect. But like I said, if they do, you don't need those people in your life. But really, they don't. Like, the really good people in this world don't. So just surround yourself with them, like physical people and Instagram as well. Like, try to follow people who role model this, who are like accepting, genuine people, and post pictures with like lumps and bumps and imperfect bits. Because if you're in that environment, like if your world is a little bit imperfect, it kind of makes it a bit more acceptable for you to be imperfect. Okay, I'm rambling on now. I've really got to stop my waffling, but I really hope that does help people. Keep being imperfect, challenge yourself. Maybe like don't wear makeup, or don't clean your apartment, or don't have food looking perfect. Just YOLO. Like, I literally love that expression. Like, life is too short to be slaving it away being perfect. It's boring and it doesn't really matter, and it will never make you properly happy inside. So I'm just about to have an afternoon snack and thought I'd record again. I was going to do a different topic, but I've had another couple of thoughts about perfectionism, so I kind of want to just make sure I get all of them out. Especially because like a couple of things have happened today that's really made me think about like being perfect. Like at lunch, I managed to overcook my pasta because I'm an idiot, and I thought I had some kind of mental pasta timer in my head, which I really don't. And I've started watching Married at First Sight again, the Aussie one, and it is just amazing. I've been hooked on it all day. And so I sat down to watch the programme and thought, oh, I'll be able to know roughly when pasta's cooked. And I got it wrong and it was a bit overcooked. But yeah, it just made me think like there's a lot of perfection around food as well, and we really need to let go of that like food has to be the most perfect thing in the world for it to be okay for me to eat, because it doesn't. Like, when we're eating consistently and food's coming in regularly, like, it just doesn't matter as much. So that was one thing. And then the other is I've still not even managed to wash my hair today. It's just been thrown up in a bun all day, and like I was meant to like wash the bedding, wash my hair, clean all the apartment, and I just got so into Married at First Sight that none of it's happened. And then I started a new book as well, which is amazing. Actually, wait, I've got my Kindle here. Okay, this is the book. And she is my favourite author. I absolutely love her. It's like crime, thriller, mystery. It's just brilliant. So I've read all of hers, and I've just found out there's a new one out, so I like downloaded it straight away. So I feel like I've had a lot on my plate today between Married at First Sight and my new book, and I've just not got around to washing my hair. And like, it just made me think I could have spent time having a shower, doing my hair, but like my hair doesn't need to be perfect to film myself eating a snack and talking about being perfect, you know? Like, the less good news is I've got quite a bad stomach ache right now. I don't really know why it started, but it has. I'm just stretching my stomach out. So I'm gonna get a snack. I'm not gonna record it, I'm afraid, because I wanna get in the kitchen and get out quickly so I can lie back down again. But yeah, I'll go and pick up my snack and then I'll come back and record.
Hey.
Hi, Bren. I'm having a snack on the bed. So I've gone for the fave, got avocado on crackers and Nesquik chocolate milk. And I've lined up another Married at First Sight because I don't think I can really eat and read very easily. Too much concentration. Oh God, this is gonna go everywhere. I've also made my warmer thing in the microwave just for my stomach. Got it on the bed. I knew I was going to do that. Disaster. I knew I shouldn't have eaten on my bed. Okay, let's get rid of that. I've got a cat down here too. Okay, so some of the thoughts I had on perfectionism since earlier, you might kind of think, oh, it's all very well for other people, like they don't need to be perfect, but for me, if I'm not perfect, I'm shit, because I would have thought that. We kind of have this black and white thinking, which is quite common in eating disorders, and there's like no mid-ground. You're either perfect or you're rubbish. Like if I didn't get 100% in an exam, wouldn't mean I'd necessarily fail. I can fall somewhere in the middle and like just pass it. But in my mind, passing is failing almost. Like passing to me isn't good enough. If it's not perfect, then it's just a fail. And I really think we need to work on those thoughts and like accept that we can stop at good enough, and that is good enough. Same with our bodies, like we're not recovering so we can have this perfect body and at like, I don't know, these like fit inspiration accounts on Instagram where they've all got like big bums and they're dead toned and blah, blah, blah. Like, we're recovering to get our lives back and to be free and like just to be you size, like whatever size you're supposed to be. Again, naturally, like not forcing yourself to be something, but just allowing yourself to naturally be whatever you are. And the thing is, it probably won't be perfect. Like most people naturally aren't perfect. And for me, that's quite a hard thing to accept, like not being the skinniest, not being the perfect whatever, not being the best, but just being me and being whatever I'm supposed to be and being natural. And just being you size, like your body's supposed to be the shape of you. It's not supposed to be the shape of that person on Instagram or that skinny person over there or whoever is fashionable or whatever. Yeah, we're just supposed to be the shape of us. I feel like this is a bit risky now. And also, I think perfectionism is so debilitating. Like, you actually end up being able to not do anything because you're so scared of getting stuff wrong. Like, this vlog, I would never have been able to do this when I was as perfectionistic as I was in the past, because you're never going to get it right. I always think, oh, I should have said that, I could have done this. That video wasn't my best one, or I don't know, some weeks I might miss one, or comments as well. Like, I'm so sorry if I miss a comment, I might not always be able to respond. Like, if I was trying to be perfect, I literally would not be able to do this at all, because I'm never going to be able to be perfect with this. And like, I hope you guys can forgive me for that, and I hope that it is good enough. And I'm still like managing to get across a message that's good enough without it being perfect. Oh, the chocolate's settling at the bottom. I can't believe I just spilled it all over my mag. How's that for not perfect? And then the other thing I think is difficult around perfectionism is it's quite easy to compare yourself to others. And being honest, there is always going to be someone in this world who is like prettier, skinnier, smarter, funnier, got more followers, more popular, whatever. There's always going to be someone more whatever than we are. And I feel like there's two options here. You can either like push yourself to try and match up to that and like be as perfect, but maybe be going against the natural you. You're like over forcing yourself to be a certain thing. And it's like we're focusing on bettering ourselves rather than focusing on accepting ourselves. And then that's your second option. You can just accept yourself as you are. And yeah, you won't be like the perfect version of you, or you might not be as skinny or funny or pretty or smart or whatever as somebody else, but like you'll be the you version of you, and it will just come naturally to you, and it won't be as exhausting to like live up to this thing or push yourself to be a certain way, or feel like you've got a standard that you have to achieve all the time. Like, oh, it's so exhausting being perfect. Also, like, we don't know what's going on in someone else's head. They might be having a really shit time themselves, trying to make themselves as pretty, skinny, funny, popular, whatever as they are. If you compare to other people, like, we don't know what's going on with them, and we're not them. We are different physically, mentally, emotionally. Like, we do only live once, and are we really going to look back on our lives and be like, thank God we got 100%, or thank God we were that skinny, or thank God we had that many followers, or I don't know, whatever you're worried about and concerned about. And then the last thought that I had was, going through recovery is a very, very imperfect process. And I'm noticing so many like weird symptoms and just really annoying, very imperfect things. So with like digestion, wind, normal bodily functions like sweating and stuff again, being like distracted, frustrated. I get very overly frustrated sometimes. I get very overly emotional at the moment as well. I feel like my emotions are kind of like waking up. You know how they get a bit numbed when you're underweight? I feel like they're waking up, but they're over waking up, and it's like all of them are thrown at me at once, and I just don't know how to process what I'm thinking and feeling. And then of course, like weight distribution, we don't perfectly gain weight when it happens. So I don't know, it's just a hard process. And I feel like given perfectionism is quite a common trait in eating disorders, oh, it's just a bitch. I'm putting up with some real rough, gross stuff. But I just try and think of it as like, it's a small price to pay for the rest of your life back, for like freedom, fun, living life and being happy. Like if you put up with some of this imperfect now, like you'll get your life back. So yeah, that's what I've been thinking today. I just think recovery is not perfect. We are far from perfect. We can spend our whole lives knocking ourselves out to try and be perfect, but you only get one life, and I just feel like perfectionism wastes it. Okay, so I'm going to sign out now and carry on reading my book. Like, keep being imperfect, keep being you. You're not shit if you're anything less than perfect. You're a human. And the good people in this world will just love you for you, like imperfect bits and all. Look where I've been. Such a creature of habit. I've got pralines and cream and chocolate brownie. Look, it's a bit too dark to see. Oh, look at all the caramel. So I was just going to record quickly because I've done another really imperfect thing tonight. I tried to cook dinner for Brendan on the barbecue because he's jet lagged, and I was like, oh, this will be a nice thing to do. So I made like burgers in a bap and sweet potato fries, but I didn't turn the barbecue on properly. I only turned on the half where you cook the burgers, but not the part where you cook the sweet potato fries. So the sweet potato fries were still like frozen, and then the burgers were getting a little bit burnt, and I just couldn't understand it at all. And I called Bren out and I was like, look, it's not perfect, but we're just gonna have to eat dinner like it is because I can't work out what's going wrong. And straight away he just like turned the barbecue on, and he was like, have you been trying to cook the sweet potato fries without the barbecue on? So we had a semi-frozen, semi-burnt dinner. I was like, on average, this meal is perfectly cooked. If you could have taken the mean value of the cooking, it would have been spot on. But no, as it was semi-frozen, semi-burnt. And to be honest, my initial reaction when he did it, I still got that like, oh, I've done something wrong around food. And then I have to remind myself, like, it doesn't matter, so what, it's a bit frozen and a bit burnt. Like, it's not too bad, it tasted fine. And I tried to do a nice thing, so yeah, there's my next doesn't have to be perfect story. I feel like I've had about 18 today. I was going to take this home, but I'm worried it's going to melt, so I might actually just eat it in the car. It's quite sad how much eating I've been doing on my own in the car recently. This pralines and cream one is amazing. I think ice cream's my favourite food. Also, I did offer Brendan an ice cream tonight, but he didn't want one. So I had to kind of do that mental reminder of like, it doesn't matter if other people aren't eating, I can still eat. Ice cream's my fave. Like, he doesn't still have a little bit of weight to gain. And to be honest, it's not even about weight gain. Like, if I want to get an ice cream and I'm on my own, so what?
That's a brownies one.
Oh, it's too dark to see, but it's got like big chunky bits of brownie in it. And it's okay that they're touching too. Okay, so that's the end of my very imperfect day. A lot of that wasn't even being imperfect on purpose. I was just generally being quite a scatty mess today. Scattiness kind of comes naturally to me. So I'm gonna go home and wash my hair because I still haven't done it. It's kind of nice though to have just lost myself today in like watching TV and reading a book. It's quite liberating to just think you can do nice things and enjoy like a book or a TV program and not constantly have thoughts of what you should be doing, what you need to be doing. And then to be able to eat ice cream and whatever, like, it's nice to feel some sorts of freedom coming back into life. So I hope everyone is having a nice day. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave comments below. Basically just keep doing all the stuff you're doing because it's awesome and I love it, and I'll record soon.